In this video, we'll talk about some awesome movies and some not so awesome things that you should avoid, and also we'll talk about some interesting updates came this week, and by the end, I'll suggest you some awesome songs. Hey everyone, welcome back to Fitwatcher, and if you are new to the channel, then I am NK, and alongside doing my full-time job as a government engineer, I talk about movies and songs and pop culture, and also it is my vision to help people get a fit lifestyle along with having the right entertainment. So now without any more wasting of your time, let's get right into the video. So let's start with something unique and interesting, Officer Black Belt, and it starts with a very light tone with comedy and drama, but in the end it gets somewhat dark and becomes a crime thriller. And the shift of the tone of this movie, I think what makes this one very unique and interesting. So in this we are shown the story of Lee Jung-do, who is a young man who is very good in martial arts and all kinds of sports. And in other times he helps his father with his chicken restaurant delivery business. And he then one day accidentally gets in with a crime scene, and then he gets an offer to join in the probation department as martial arts officer. But from this point the story starts to get serious, and by the end it becomes a whole different story. And I think I shouldn't tell you the whole story here, I'll recommend you to watch this one. It's on Netflix if you are curious about where to watch, and it definitely gets a fit in my Fitometer. Moving on to another interesting movie that came this week is Wolves, and in this we have George Clooney and Brad Pitt as leads, and they both played the identical character, mean they are someone you call when you have done something seriously messed up, and they'll fix it without any stress. And I think you know what I mean. They're like, professional hitmen. And the interesting take here is that they don't know each other, and they both have different working style, and basically they don't get along with each other. And for a situation they now have to work with each other even though they don't want to, and that's the most interesting part of the movie. And if you want to know who made this film, it is from John Watts, who, if you know, made all the Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies in the MCU. Not my favorite Spider-Man parts, but still I thought I should let you know this. And this one probably his best work in his career. And to talk about some interesting points about this movie, the comedy, it is pretty hilarious when it needs to. There's no unnecessary one-liner jokes or anything unnecessary, forced jokes. Every comedic element is based on certain situations, and the situational comedy and the banter is very good. Next, the BGM I found quite subtle and interesting, especially George Clooney's BGM. And next, on the acting front, both the lead actors performed brilliantly, and more than that, their on-screen chemistry made the movie even better. So their constant ego class and their constant similarities in their life made it even more hilarious, and it will make you chuckle until the end. And even though all the chaos, there is some feel-good wholesomeness about this movie. And you might think how such crime thriller type of movie can be wholesome, right? So for that you will have to watch the movie to know about it. And it's on Apple TV, and it easily gets a fit rating on my Fitometer. Okay, now let's talk about another interesting movie I got to watch, which is Devera Part 1. And to be honest, I had no expectation from this one apart from all the over-the-top action sequences and awesome background music. So let's talk about it. And before that, I want you to subscribe to the channel and also like this video, because I'm gonna bring even more interesting stuff in the upcoming weeks, and you don't wanna miss any of that. Okay, coming back to Devera, it can be simply explained as very shiny and interesting on outside, but there's no substance in inside. So you will like the over-the-top actions and high adrenaline background music by Anir Davisinder, but in the end, you won't feel anything special about the movie. And the plot is too stretchy in the first half, which definitely made me feel like the character build-up of Devera's character took too long. I mean, the whole first half was Devera's character build-up, and everything else I felt too rushed in the second half of the movie. And the makers definitely tried to do the Bahubali treatment here in the last part, and I think that really made me confused about a lot of things rather than making me curious about the second part. And let me know if you also felt like that. And other than that, I don't think there's not too much to talk about this one. If you want to enjoy something big and something like over-the-top action in the theater, then definitely go watch in the theater. And I will give this one regular in my Fitometer. Nothing special about it, just an one-time watch. And next I watched Crazy Stupid Love, and this isn't anything new. I just never watch the whole movie, even though I might have seen most of its scenes in the Instagram memes. But again, I gave it a chance and it was fairly okay. And apart from the last part of the movie, I liked the overall movie. And of course, it have many great actors like Ryan Gosling, Steve Carell, Emma Stone, Zoe King, and Marisa Tomei, etc. So it's good on the acting front and drama part basically. And if you ask me, I would say it's a decent and fairly okay movie, so it gets a regular in my rating. Next up, Uglies, and it has again Zoe King as the lead, and I'm gonna tell you why I did not like it that much, because you're not gonna watch this one anyway. So the concept, I would say, was good, and the future art is unlivable because of overuse of fossil fuel, what made it polluted. And so there's a part of the world led by Dr. Cable where most of the people are called uglies, and once they get to an age of 16, they get to have a surgery who will make them pretty, and the high society will then accept them. And also there's another part of the world, there's a rebel organization called Smokes, who believes in being who they are, and they don't want to get any surgery, and this ideology difference made them rivals to each other. And our lead Telly is now stuck between both the ideologies and both part of the world, which is right and who is wrong. And now you will guess the movie after this point, so that's easy. And there's some things like unusual background music choice at some points, and yeah, I like that part. And cinematography is good at some places, but those futuristic things shown there looked very cringe at some points, and the characters were not developed well enough, and they felt like shallow characters. And also the main plot abruptly ends in the end part of the movie, just like that. I honestly felt like, wait, this is it, and where is the rest of the movie? And it's not like a very long movie. I would have understood if they had to cut the movie short, but it's not. So it was more like bad writing, and like they have not written the ending and made the movie dead. And now I understand why everyone said this movie was so bad. But also the movie I came to know based on a trilogy of books, and I don't think they will make second part of this one. So for that, I will give a fat rating on my Fitometer. And yeah, also another thing, the episode 3 of Agatha All Along came this week, but since I did not like the episode 2 that much, so I'm gonna watch at one go when all the episode drops. And by the time you were watching this video, episode 2 of The Penguin dropped by then, and I made a video on why The Penguin is a masterpiece. So if you have not watched that one, you can watch it now. Here. Okay, done with the movies. Let's move on to some spicy and hot updates came this week. Then on the next section, I will suggest you some awesome songs. So keep watching the video till the end. So one of the most interesting trailers came this week is Thunderbolts, and although I was not very excited for this one before, the trailer definitely made me excited for this one. So as you might know, if you are already following MCU or you are a superhero fan like me, the Thunderbolts are basically a team of anti-heroes in Marvel, where we will see Florence Pugh's Black Widow, Bucky, Red Guardian, US Agent, Ghost, female Taskmaster, etc. in the team. But the most interesting character shown here is Sentry, which, if you don't know, is like Marvel's Superman, and he's a messed up Superman. So this will be an interesting thing to watch. Next up, Elevation. It has Anthony Mackie and Morena Baccarin as the leads, and it will be based on a post-apocalyptic future and the war of humankind versus some creatures. And the cinematography and tone of the movie looks good for the most part, and it will be released on, I think, November 1. Next, the trailer of Bhul-Bhulaiya 3 dropped. So it's an Indian horror comedy franchise, and the first movie was pretty cold and a pretty classic movie, but I did not like the second part that much. It was pretty cringe for the most part, and in this third part, Vidya Balan's character is returning, so there's a little hope for this one. Let's see how it performs. And next up, another very interesting one coming up is Sinners, and it's a horror thriller kind of movie, and it will have Michael B. Jordan as lead and Ryan Coogler as director, who also made the Black Panther and Creed movies. So Michael B. Jordan is gonna play a double role as brothers coming back to their hometown from their a dark past, only to find out there's something even darker waiting for them in there. So spoiler alert, I think it will be a vampire movie. Next up, from the world of John Wick, Ballerina, and the trailer seems awesome, and it is one of the movies I am interested to watch coming from the John Wick universe. And I made a video about my impression in another video. You can watch it here after watching this one, obviously. And also another interesting female-led movie or trailer dropped this week is Jigra, which we will see Alia Bhatt's character as the lead, and the trailer seems pretty good, where Alia's character Satya will do everything to save her brother from bad people, and she will go to any extent to save the only family member she has in her life. And both Jigra and Ballerina will be able to show us finally a good female-led action movie that's not unbearable, at least that I hope for in the world of She-Hulk and Captain Marvel. Okay, now let me suggest you some good songs. First, Heartbreak by Love, Snow on the Beach by Taylor Swift, You Can Be the One by Late Night Alumni, which was playing on the club scene in the that movie Crazy Stupid Love, and I love that song. Next, Fight Forever by Paris Bloom, Gum Hua by Adarsh Rao, Angelina Moon by The Fray. Yeah, Angelina Moon by The Fray. 4x4 by You by Lily Wilson, and yeah, these are the songs I listen most in this week. And you comment down below which movies and songs you enjoyed this week. And thank you all for tuning in until the very end of today's episode. If you want to watch some interesting stuff like this, you can watch the other videos that I made. So until next time, stay fit and keep watching Fitwatcher. And this is NK signing off.